Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. And we are very blessed to be with Vikrant Shaurya. Vikrant, welcome to the show.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much for having me.
So, Vikrant is on the show today to talk to us about a very powerful lead generation strategy that I have used very successfully in the past that we feel is very important for the mortgage industry right now. And that is becoming a published author that actually generates not only leverage, but leads and connections through publishing a book. So, Vikrant, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, so I would love to discuss about how someone can use and leverage book to generate leads. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Can you give us a little bit of your background and like what makes you an expert on this topic? Why are you here on the show?
Yeah, so I'm the founder of Authors on Mission, where we have helped more than 500 clients one-on-one with our done-for-you book writing, publishing, and marketing services, and helping them write, publish, and market the book, which is taking their business to the next level, have helped them with the lead gen, has also improved their they're getting more speaking gigs, they're getting more consultation gigs as well. So yeah, like we're in this industry for over 10 years now. And yeah, apart from these 500 people, like I've also helped more than 10,000 people with our ebook, our courses, our videos, and help them write, publish, and market the books.
That's amazing. That is awesome. And you're very well known on, I believe it's Quora as well, right?
Yeah. I used to write a lot on Quora, but for last few years, like I'm not writing it over there, but I think I should continue it again.
Very good. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about creation of a book for a loan officer. So they're in a local marketplace, they've got somewhat of a condensed market.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people will look at the book publishing side of things and think, oh, that won't work for me because I'm not trying to be a national, thought leader. I'm not trying to be an author.
Mm.
What benefit does a book have for me? So, how have you seen becoming an author and actually having a published book help people that are in a local marketing space?
Mm. Yeah, so I was in touch with this podcast host a few years ago. I think this is 1 or 2 years ago. The author's book was Sell Anywhere.
Yeah.
And this book was all about how to establish you as an expert in a very local, very niche, dense market, right? And it was not that how you can establish you as an expertise in the global market. It was all very niche in a local market. And we are now working with him to help him with the marketing and everything. But basically, just when he wrote this book, like he was able to generate 4 to 5 times of leads, and people were actually really seeing him as an expert. And exactly this, and the book was like he was kind of a real estate agent, and what he used to do is he used to distribute his book to his potential clients for free in place of business card or a visiting card.
Right.
So nowadays, like books has completely like they are very, very powerful. They are kind of a super business card, which is going to be like usually like whenever you see a business card or whenever someone gives you a business card, you don't have any intention to keep it in your wallet. Maybe you just throw it, or maybe it is in your wallet, but you just never check it out. But when you receive a book from anyone, then somehow, like, like you see that person as an authority, you see that person differently. And this is what the job of book is, right? If you are a loan officer specifically, how many loan officers in this world are actually a published author?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe 1% only. And in this competitive world, it's all about like how you can stand apart from the crowd and how you can distinguish yourself from your competition. And writing a book is one of the best way to do that. And of course, there are so many steps involved, and there's hundreds and hundreds of steps in writing, publishing, and marketing a book. But I must tell you that it is really worth it.
Excellent. Okay, great. So we've got a loan officer, they're interested in writing a book, and then it feels incredibly overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
A, how do I know what to write? How do I lay the book out? Like, I'm not an author. That's why authors are authors, and I'm not an author. Like, writing a book is a big deal. So,
Yeah.
how do you write a book?
So whenever you write a book, there are some steps involved, and I see a book as kind of a creating a new business, right? And whenever you create a new business, you always create a business plan, right? And over here in this journey of you writing a book, your business plan is going to be your book outline. And this is where usually people feel overwhelmed, right? This is the number one reason like why people feel overwhelmed, because they don't have a book outline. They start with writing a chapter number one, right? Or maybe the introduction. They don't create the entire layout of exactly what would be the table of contents, how they would be structured, how they would be structuring the entire book. I'm after working with a lot of people, I'm noticing that like 90 to 95% of the people, like whenever they start writing a book, they don't have a working book outline. They just, someone maybe have said that, hey, you should write a book, and they start working on chapter number one.
Right.
So that's where the problem is. So always start with your book outline. And of course, like you also asked that what should you write about. Now you can leverage AI, and of course I know that that's your favorite topic, but we can leverage AI to really help you identify what should you write about. So AI, specifically ChatGPT, or there are other tools as well, which are really great competition of ChatGPT. One is called Claude AI, if you've heard about it, which is from
No.
Anthropic. Oh my God, that's a really, really, really amazing tool. It's a free now, like it is kind of a biggest competitor of ChatGPT 4 now.
Oh, wow.
ChatGPT 4 is a paid tool. But if you go to claude.ai, that's a tool by Anthropic. Amazing tool. Like I'm testing this tool for last 1 month now. No, last 2 to 3 weeks now. And in some areas, it is actually way better than ChatGPT 4. Like it really understands you. So basically, what you can do is you can go to any of these tools, whether it is ChatGPT 4 or 3.5 if you have a free access, or Claude, and then share everything about you, that, hey, this is what I do. This is what I work on. This is the type of clients I work with. What do you think? Suggest me 10 different book ideas for me.
Hmm. Yep.
Then they, like the chat GPT or Claude or any of these other AI tools, is going to provide you some different ideas, right? If you don't like any of those ideas, tell chat GPT that, hey, give me 10 more ideas. It's going to give you some more and more options. So now you have suddenly, in just 2 minutes, like you have multiple different business, like book ideas. And once you like the book idea, right, then you can tell them like, hey, okay, I like this book idea. I want to add these points in the book. Based on this, please create a working book outline for me.
Mm-hmm.
It will create the entire book outline for you. Of course, I know that that could maybe go with you, that could not go with you, but you have at least a rough draft or rough kind of a book outline, and you can actually play around with it. You can actually give ChatGPT instruction that, hey, you should fix this, remove this, add this. And basically within maybe 15-20 minutes, you have something ready. You
Yep.
have a working book outline ready. Now you can work start working on the book, right? You would feel 10 times less overwhelmed, and it is going to help you speed up the entire book writing process.
Yes, I could not agree more. And we're working with ChatGPT 4, and I am definitely going to check out Cloud.
Sure.
But ChatGPT 4 for all of our articles. And what we've done is we've taken our articles and we did very much a book outline and then took each blog article and each blog article that independently is being published. We're going to go back and take each of those blogs, condense them together, and put them into a more of a
Mm,
marketing report than a full
yeah.
book. But that was,
Mm,
but the amount of time that we are saving on producing that content is just
yeah.
unbelievable. So
Right.
we get a loan officer, they get a book outline, they're filling in the different chapters with their specialty, their expertise, working back and forth with AI to truly uniquely create value within that book. We get something that's in, because everybody's just going to dump everything basically into a Google Doc, I'm assuming, right? So
Yeah.
now we got this like messy Google Doc that's kind of got, it's, it's got chapters on it, but then it doesn't look like a book. How do you
Mm,
get it from that to it's got a cover photo, it's got the index, it's got everything, and it's actually a book that makes you look professional?
yeah. So once you have the rough manuscript ready, now here you need to understand that you can of course work on all these steps that you mentioned, but if you really want to go professionalism, like if you really want to be professional, then you should hire professional artist for this. You
Yeah.
should hire a professional editor, proofreader, cover designer, formatter, like who can help you fix this. They are doing it for more than 10 years. They have worked with hundreds and hundreds of authors. So they know their job, right? They have done it thousands of times. And if you would try to learn it, it would again, like you have done a really good job completing your book's manuscript. Now your job is to um, hire an expert, like who has done it several times, and they would take care of the editing of the book, proofreading of the book. Then they will be also converting that final manuscript into something that is readable, right? Like proper formatting, interior designing for both the Kindle version or the ebook and the paperback version. If you have a hardcover, they can do that as well. And once it is ready, then you can go with get a cover designer, like who can design covers for you. Um, so you have to hire these people. Like that's highly recommended. If you are still stuck with writing a book, then you can hire a ghostwriter who can
Mhm.
help you complete the entire book, who can interview you and write the book for you. Uh, it's all about like what do you value? Like the clients that we work with, they really value their time. They really don't want to learn these things, and they really don't want to waste their time. So they hire us, and then we take care of everything from ghostwriting to editing, designing, publishing, marketing. So yeah, like uh, once you hire these people, all you have to do is just manage them, right?
Got it.
Or you can hire us and we will be managing all of these people. You don't have to worry about anything.
Gotcha. So, two questions. First off, how many bestsellers have you had on the Amazon platform?
I think it is more than 500, 600 something. We've also done some Wall Street Journal bestseller, USA Today bestsellers as well. They are around 20, 25 something.
That is amazing. So those are incredible results. And I wanted to ask that question to give a frame of reference of how long you've been in the industry and the results that you're able to generate. Before I ask this question, rough ballpark, our listeners are going to be thinking, okay, I got a designer, I've got a writer, I got all this stuff. Like, what's a rough ballpark for somebody who wants to put a book out? Is it $800 or is it $8,000? Like, what ballpark are people looking at to become a published author?
Yeah, if you have written a book and you need help with editing, designing, publishing, also marketing. We guarantee that the book is going to be number one bestseller. We help you get sales, reviews, everything. We also create personalized marketing plan. It's a 4-month process. If your book is done, then it is just $10,000 package. If your book is not done, then the ghostwriting is expensive for us as well. Then it would be $25,000, like including everything, including ghostwriting, editing, designing, publishing, marketing.
Okay. So $10,000 if you've got the book, and
Yeah.
$25,000 if you don't have the book,
Yep.
and you'll do it. Okay. So that takes us to, we've got a book and we're ready for a marketing plan, because I know everybody's going to looking for that big, like, how do we tie this all together? How do I get my 25 grand
Yeah.
back? How am I
Mm.
going to turn a book into business? What does
Yeah.
that look like?
Yeah. So when it comes to marketing, like I have always seen that specifically for a nonfiction book or a business book, um, don't expect making tons of money in the front end, means through the book sales.
Right.
It's all about like how you leverage your book to generate like hundreds of thousands of dollars in the back end. And that's what our clients are doing. Some of them are international speakers. They charge $20,000, $25,000 for one speaking gig. With their book, like what they are doing is they're distributing their book to the events organizers in their niche, and they're getting like 2 to 3 gigs every month, right? Just one gig, and they have got a positive ROI. Um, the consultation gigs, like we have recently worked with this lady. She's in DEI space, like diversity, equity, inclusion. She works with corporate clients, like big Fortune 500 companies. She charges around $50,000, $60,000, and she works for them for 2 to 3 months. Right? She creates the entire DEI plan for them. Um, when she launched her book, again, she sent the copies of her book, like the hardcover or the paperback copies, to these Fortune 500 companies, like the prospects or the potential clients, like she wanted to work with, and with a handwritten note, right, to the CEO or HR managers, VP, and in the first month alone, she got 3 new clients just through the book. So $150,000 from there. And I'm just giving you some ideas that what our clients are doing. So if you're a loan officer, right, and if you have some potential leads, right, if you have some leads in the pipeline, and if you know their mailing address, you can distribute the book to their address with a handwritten note. Basically, you are building a really strong relationship with them. You are giving something away for free. If you don't have their mailing address, if you have their email address, you can send a digital copy of the book completely for free. Or you can ask them like, hey, I've written this book. I would love to read, I would love you to read the book. Do you want a copy? And basically through that, like you're building some relationship. You are also sending the copy, and if they provide you the mailing address, to send them the copy. So you always have to know the number, like exactly what kind of commission you are making per client, right? So and how many copies you would be distributing, and what's the conversion. You have to test it in your market. But basically, I think if you're working in a very local market, to establish your authority and to really build a brand in that area, writing a book is a really, really great way to do that, right? You can also maybe distribute some pamphlets about the book, and with your phone number, and that can also help you get some more leads. So yeah, like I'm just sharing with you some of the ideas that are working really good for our clients.
That is amazing. And so well, loan officers are always looking for high leverage relationships with top producers. And I think there are so many people in the mortgage industry that do such a good job of product and process, but they don't have a way to have that conversation with a top performing referral partner, because ultimately referral partners are just looking for deals.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you have a
Mm.
deal that you can send me? And so this is a very unique and interesting way to get a targeted list of referral partners. Realtors, financial planners, investment advisors, insurance people, all at the highest level. So for all of our listeners, this is going out, doing the research, using Modex, using MMI, using tools that we have available to us where you can check the production volume of the people that you want to reach out to, and then leveraging a book on a strategy that most likely these people have never seen before, where they get a handwritten note with a book. You could even deliver it to their office for them because these are all local professionals that you want to work with. And you can scale some very high level connections in a relatively short period of time getting this book together. So now, Vikrant, I'm a systems guy. I'm a funnel guy for our business. So are you also seeing authors, rather than using it as a positioning piece and doing kind of like outreach, what about running a funnel, paid ads, Facebook, Google, to generate leads that way? Can you walk us through some of that?
Yeah, sure. That can work really, really good. And, like with Facebook ads, you can target using zip code with a very hyper local area. So you can run the Facebook ads on your book saying that, hey, like this is the book. For example, if you're living in a specific area in California, like you can mention that name that, hey, free book only for this area in California. This is going to make them feel personalized. And once they get the free book, like they have to provide their name, email address, phone number, and everything through the Facebook ad Legion. And yeah, like once you have it, the moment you get the phone number, maybe you can hire someone like to do this, like maybe a virtual assistant. The moment they get the book, within half an hour, your job is to give them a call. Like, hey, did you get the copy? If you haven't, like I'm going to send it to you. Or if you can provide me your mailing address, I can send it to you, a physical copy completely for free. Basically, what you're doing is you're building a really great relationship with them. You are having a kind of a reference point that, hey, have you read, or call them after 3 days, like, hey, did you get a chance to read my book? Do you have any questions? I would love to help you out. So again, over here, the book could be a really great reference point. They have read your book. Maybe they haven't, but they have took some action on a paid ad. And then you can use that reference point or kind of a repo building and then try to build a relationship with them and eventually close them.
Yep, that makes total sense, and that's exactly how we're not using a book for our funnel, but it would work perfectly. And just so that you know, our company provides those concierge agents. So what we do is we do a lot of outbound. So we will call our mortgage professionals databases of past customers, generate repeat business, referral business, and 5-star reviews. But we also quote targeted lists of realtors, financial planners, that sort of thing. But we also do inbound lead gen. We have a couple of the largest rate-based websites on the internet, and we have hired, trained, and staffed their internal call center. So somebody requests a mortgage rate quote, there's a phone call that goes back in the first 5 minutes in order to book that person into a consultation. So I would love to have a conversation with you about how we could modify that for authors that are actually running those book funnels.
Awesome, sure.
Because you nailed it. It makes a huge difference. The speed to lead. And somebody who has downloaded a book is somebody who's trying to solve a problem, a very specific problem,
right?
Which is absolutely brilliant. Okay. So Vikrant, we kind of been through the whole funnel. How do you create a book? How do you empower yourself with AI in order to create a good book? How do you put your marketing process together? What other tips should I be asking about, or what else do our listeners really need to know about the benefits of taking a book into the marketplace?
Yeah. So whenever you're writing a book, you have to understand that whenever, like, you are not just writing a book, you're not launching the book, you're launching your brand on Amazon, right? Or in your market. So you have to be very professional, right? I always see 4 pillars in the publishing space. The first is product. And over here, the product is going to be the book. Then comes package, right? And packaging is all about book formatting, cover designing, book description, author bio, author picture. Like you have to be very professional in these things as well. And then comes the publishing space. Nowadays, publishing is not very complicated. Like you can also go with self-publishing. If you don't get the traditional publishing deal, you can simply go to amazon.kdp.com and set up your account over there if you don't have an Amazon account. And within 72 hours of uploading your book of both Kindle and paperback, your book is going to be live. So you don't have to also, like with paperback of Amazon, you don't have to worry about inventory as well. They can do the print on demand as well for you, right? But I would recommend you, if you are going very local, then print some copies, like hundreds of copies for you, for your customers, so that you can distribute it. If you're going to meetups, like take at least 40, 50 copies along with you. So whenever you meet someone, instead of giving the business card, give away the book. So once the third pillar is the publishing. Once you do take care of the publishing, then comes the promotion phase. And in the promotion phase, I divide it into two parts. The first is the on-page SEO, or on-page marketing. So Amazon also works kind of like Google. They have Kindle, like they have keywords and everything. So you have to use the right kind of keywords and categories just to make sure that your book ranks higher for that specific category. Then comes the off-page SEO, like how you run ads, like Amazon ads, BookBub ads, Facebook ads. In your case, of course, Facebook ads can work really, really good. Nowadays, like podcasts are a really great platform to promote the book. But if you're going local, then I think Facebook ads is going to be the best for you.
That is amazing. And thank you for breaking that whole funnel down. Now, you mentioned a key component there, a publishing deal. So
Mhm.
looking at actual book publishers to come in. So what does that look like? Is that something like, do you get a list of publishing houses and then you're doing cold outreach to them? What does that whole process look like?
Yeah. So if you would be doing it yourself, then it can take um, years, right? Or
Yep.
chances are very, very high that they won't select you. You have to go through an agent, right? There are so many literary agents and publishing agents, like you have to hire a really good one. Then chances are maybe your book could be selected. Usually what happens is if you're already an expert, if you already have a great branding, then these publishing companies, they reach out to you and then they give you some sort of deal. But in case if you're not that big, then you have to try to reach out to these publishing companies. And the best way is like find a really good agent. And if you just Google it in your area, then of course you can find someone, right? But so yeah, like it depends on exactly what's your goal is. There are some pros and cons of traditional publishing and self-publishing as well. But if you think that going with the traditional publishing is going to be help you with the branding way better than self-publishing, then of course you can go with that.
Awesome. That is fantastic. Well, Vikrant, thank you so much for your time and for sharing with us and the audience. If people want more information, how do they find out more about you? Where do people go to get more information about you and your company?
Yeah, so I'm usually very active on LinkedIn. So if you're going to search Vikrant Shaurya on Google, the first link is, I think, LinkedIn. So just message me over there. Would love to chat with you. Um, if you want to check out what Authors on Mission does, simply go to authorsonmission.com. We have hundreds of testimonials and case studies on our websites. Just check it out. Maybe go through some of these testimonials. See if you think that this is a fit for you. If you think it is a fit, just simply book a call with us. One of our author strategists is going to get on a call, check your book idea, and see if you're a fit for each other or not. If everything is fine, then of course we'll onboard you.
That is amazing. Well, again, Vikrant, thank you for being on the show. For all of our listeners, thank you for listening. All of that information is in the show notes. Don't forget to head on over to iTunes, hit us with a 5-star rating and review, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank you, Vikrant.
Thanks, Chris.